wanted to share a pedal board with you. This is not my board. It's like it's been on like extended loan from a friend of mine. He bought this pedal board years ago and just never bonded with it. He doesn't really play a lot of heavy music. He plays stuff, just really clean stuff, and a lot of acoustic as well. And he bought the board because he got it at a good deal. And we were jamming together one day, and he brought this over with him, and he said, I saw the board, and I said, wow, those are really, that's a really nice board. Those are really nice pedals. And he said, yeah. He said, I can't really get him to do anything. He said the compressor here, no matter how he turned the knobs, he couldn't hear a difference. And these distortion boxes, and the overdrive and the distortions here, he said he didn't understand why he needed three of them and stuff like that. So he never really bonded with it. And he said, do you like pedals? And I said, yeah. He said, well, why don't you take it home and just play with it and enjoy it for a little bit and give it back when you're done. And he asked about it, I guess, a year ago. He said, are you still using it? And I said, yeah, I'm still using it. He said, I said, do you want it back? He said, well, if you're still using it, just keep using it. So he's been really good with it, but I'm fixing to give it back to him. I had it long enough. I really don't want to get rid of it. It is pretty much perfect for me, but it's not mine, and I can't keep it forever. And he's been really kind to let me for as long as I have. It needs to go back to its owner. But I wanted to kind of show you guys this pedal board before I did that, because these are pretty much vintage pedals. 4 of them are black label, made in Japan, Boss pedals, and 2 are silver label, made in Taiwan. And what I mean by that is that on the back of these pedals there's a label, and there are several different colors of Boss labels, and the black labels were the originals from what I understand with my research. And the silver labels came about, I think, around 1988 when Boss moved production from Japan to Taiwan. And so what I have is a CS3, these are all Boss, like I said, CS3 compressor sustainer. This is a black label, made in Japan, Boss pedal. Then you have the DF2 super distortion and feedbacker. This is also a Boss black label, made in Japan. Then we have a BD2 blues driver, and this is sort of an iconic pedal to a lot of guys. The blues driver is just a fantastic overdrive. Of all the pedals on this board, this is my favorite, probably my favorite one, followed closely by the metalizer here. This is an MZ2 digital metalizer, and a lot of guys didn't like this pedal and complained that it was dark and murky and all kind of stuff. But a lot of the 70s, late 70s and early 80s rockers really loved this pedal. From what I understand, it's been on a lot of albums. Also, I think it's rumored, at least, that David Gilmour loved this pedal. I can't confirm it. I haven't been able to really confirm it, but I know that I've read that several times on the internet, so it's got to be true. It's on the internet. But no, anyway, I can see why they would like it, because it doesn't sound like anything else. Kind of like the BD2 to me, to my ears. This pedal does not sound like any other pedal that I've ever played. So these two here would be my 2 favorites out of all the bunch. And then there's a CE3 chorus. That's a black label. This is black label. Black label, made in Japan. And then there's a GE7 silver label made in Taiwan EQ. If you look, I have that EQ set flat, and there's just a bit of boost on the level, and I kind of would use it as a volume boost when I solo, that kind of thing. If I had my druthers, I'd put an NS2 noise gate at the end instead of the EQ, but it does that really well. So let's start with a compressor. With a compressor, I have an old MXR Dynacomp 2000 series compressor. It's black with red Dynacomp script, and I've only seen other ones in magazines and on pictures online. Very rarely do I see that pedal, and it's the one that I used. I always kept it on, and I would do the same with this compressor sustainer, this CS3. It's a fantastic compressor. If you notice, it's off now, but listen. Let me put a distortion pedal on. It's really quiet. A lot of compressors add a bit of noise to your signal chain. This doesn't add very much. But a compressor, what it does, if you're not familiar with it, is it takes quiet parts of your music, the quiet notes, and boosts them. And it takes loud notes and kind of squashes them and brings them down so that everything's more even. It's something a lot of times people will use in a studio to clean up their playing and make it more uniform. But you can squash the snot out of your signal and take every bit of expression out of the way that you play if you use too much of it. So I generally stick to a light compression. What I like to do with a compressor is to boost the signal coming from my guitar and kind of push a little bit the amp. And what I mean by that is I don't have it set at what you would call unity gain. What I mean by that is that unity gain is when you turn the pedal on or you turn the pedal off, the volume doesn't change. I have the compressor up just a little bit. I'm running through a modern PV Bandit, and I have an ART Multiverb 3 digital signal processor, a rack processor, set on a reverb setting, running through that Bandit because I don't like the reverb on the new Bandits. It stinks. So I use the reverb off of the ART. That's it there. So this is the ART. The PV. My guitar is a 72T style. Has humbuckers in it. And this is clean with no compression. Might pick that up, but it just, to me, now this is with the compressor. And to me, what that does is it just fattens the tone up a little bit. And so I run all the time with compressor on. And so let's look at the DF2, the Super Distortion and Feedback. This is a really cool pedal. What it is basically a Super Distortion or a DS1 with a feedback circuit in it. And the feedback circuit is controlled by this knob right here. And you either turn it that way or you turn it this way, and it controls the pitch at which the pedal will feed back. And what I mean by that, let's listen to the distortion on it in it first. So it just... If you put your foot down there and just hold it... Okay, I gotta take it off first. And you just take your finger off of the note. It goes crazy. And then let's back it all the way down this way. Okay, same note. Let's crank it up. Really cool. So, fantastic pedal. Love the thing to death. And that, the BD2 Blues Driver. This is just a straight ahead overdrive. And I have the gain at about 130. Tone knob is at about 10 o'clock. Then we move to the MZ2 Metalizer, digital metalizer, and this is just... has delay and chorus in it. This knob right here gives you two choices of delay, two choices that have a blend of chorus and delay, and then finally two choices of chorus only. And the delay, you can hear the modulation circuit in it moving even when you're not playing through it. But the delay is not like a repeat, it's not an echo. It's just a bit of delay, just a few milliseconds to kind of fatten things up. So I mean, you're not going to hear the delay. It's just gonna be perceived as a fat kind of tone. But it has the chorus in it. If you remember in the 80s, let's turn it all the way over. Especially like the hair bands, they had they used a lot of times. They used chorus on their dirt. So. Really cool pedal, really unique sound, love it. And then we have the CE3 chorus pedal, and here's clean. And then, you know, something like every rose. Thicker and wider and all like that, but I don't really do a whole lot more than that right there with a chorus. I think if you're not careful, the chorus can get overdone really fast and people can get really tired of it. All the high frequencies in it can fatigue your ears a bit. So, but it's nice sometimes on some clean passages to pretty things up. So that's the board. Like I say, the EQ really isn't doing anything. It's just kind of boosting. When I want a little bit of boost, I'll hit that and get it. But it's just a really cool board. I've been really blessed to be able to use it as long as I have. I need to get it back to its owner. And my friend, if you're watching this, it's coming back to you soon. I'm sorry that I took so long with it, but I really do appreciate you letting me use it. It's just fantastic. And yeah, so alright, a vintage Boss pedal board. Well, actually the board's not vintage, but you know what I mean. The pedals are vintage pedals and they're beautiful, and I just thought I wanted to kind of get it out there for people to see it before it got away from me. Alright, God bless you. I'll talk to you later.